Hello, what's up? I'm the Ultimate Doom here, doing another video for you guys, and this time I'm going to be continuing off the series of every Halo Mega Bloks and Mega Construx Halo set that I have not yet gotten. And for this video, we're going to be talking about the 2014 and 2015 sets. Now, I wanted to bring up that I'm not going to bring up the mystery packs that I have some of the figures, but I'm missing a few of. I might do a video on that in the future, but if I got some of the mystery packs, I'm not going to bring them up here. Anyways, we're going to start off with the 2014 lineup, starting with the Special Edition Master Chief Spartan style in cyan. I really wish I got this thing, but I think it just slipped by me because it was not released anywhere out here. Of course, it's one of those special edition Spartans. It's probably just released in exclusive conventions and promotions, but I don't think in my particular area there was really a reason for it to release, so it just never got to anywhere around here. But it was a nice little treat, you know. I love the cyan color. That is a very nostalgic color for me, because one of the very first exclusive Spartans I ever got, or exclusive sets in general, was a cyan Spartan, and that was in the old articulation mold. This was to help introduce the new articulation, so yeah, this was a 2014 special edition. I believe it was the first special edition figure to introduce that new articulation. Anyways, moving on from that, we're going to be talking about the UNSC Off-World Cyclops. So far, from this mold, I've only got one Cyclops, and that's the Arctic one, so any other Cyclops you're going to see, I don't have. But yeah, this one was a cool one. It's in that black and yellow paint application that kind of reminds me of a backwards version of Bumblebee from the Transformers, and I think the Marine looked cool. I think there was a version of this that had a new articulation Marine over the old articulation one, because I think this was a fall or winter early 2014 release, and then they just continued off into later 2014. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I like the flamethrower piece. I think that's nice. So yeah, would have been nice to get, especially for those cone pieces. You can't have enough of those cones. The next set we're going to take a look at is the Covenant Weapons Pack. So yes, this is reusing an old name, but I never got this and I don't know why. Maybe it's the Brute. I'm just not sure how I feel about the gold and gray. I would have gotten it regardless, but it just kind of slipped by me. The weapons rack is pretty cool. I do like the fact that it comes with quite a bit. You know, you got that Covenant turret as well as that little beam thing where you can have the Brute fly off if you want. You know, that's a clever way to have a flight stand. And yeah, the gold's not bad. I'm just not sure how well it blends with the gray. Anyways, moving on, we also have the Forerunner Weapons Pack, which comes with this very weird looking Forerunner laser. That's pretty cool. A nice little weapons pack of Forerunner stuff. I do like those little grenade little thingies. I can't remember what they're called. I'm sure some guy's going to correct me on that. As well, you have the Promethean, what is that? The Sniper Crawler. Yeah, it almost slipped by me, but then I remembered. Yeah, just a pretty nice pack, and I would have gotten it for that transparent blue base piece, because that's actually looking pretty good. We also have the Sector 12 Police Cyclops, so this is continuing that NMPD line, and I would have gotten this just for the Riot Shield. I think that is a nice piece, but not only that, the color scheme is actually pretty pleasant. I wasn't too deep into the NMPD stuff. The main thing that I really wanted was the police car, and I got that. And so everything else just kind of slipped by me. But I think they should really bring back the NMPD line, because I think it was a clever touch on the Halo series. And I don't know, I thought this was kind of nice, especially that machine gun and that shield. Yes, that shield looks incredibly small compared to the Cyclops, but it's kind of funny, kind of interesting, and also kind of clever at the same time. We also have the Microfleet Falcon Conquest. So this is the blue helmet from the series, and I couldn't really get into these helmet sets, but I wanted the Falcon because I think that mini build is super nice, but I don't think it was even available in my area. I think it slipped by my stores. I think they were just too stuck on the previous waves to get this out. So yeah, didn't really have the best release, but it's another set that I would have gotten, especially for that sniper with the blue Spartan. Kind of reminds me of Church from Red vs. Blue. I mean, come on. Anyways, moving right along, we also have the UNSC Broadsword Midnight Strike. So yeah, I regret not getting this because of the Didac. I think that's a cool figure. Yes, we do have that in the Series 10 Halo Heroes line, but I never got that too. That just never released, so yeah, this would have been a good opportunity for me to get that, as well as that broadsword. That is a nice, chunky looking vehicle. I love the display stand for it. The Master Chief and Cortana look fine. I like the weapons rack that's included with it. Yeah, just a nice overall set. We also have the UNSC Elephant Troop Carrier. So this would have been the second version of the Elephant. And I think one of the main reasons why I didn't get this is because it just looked a little too busy to me. I like how clean the original Elephant looked compared to this. I know, it just seems like there's a lot going on, but when I watched some of the reviews recently, there's a reason for that. You have this turret that flips down, and it's got a nice little gimmick to that. You have different sections where the Marines and Spartans can go into. Of course, you have that crane. You have that little canopy there that I thought was a clever touch using the Gremlin cockpit. You have a bunch of really nice figures, especially the Marines and the Spartans. I mean, you've got Carter and June in the set. That would have been nice to get. So I think it's a lot, but there's a reason why there's a lot, and I didn't really respect or really understood that up until now. We also have the Police Air Support Hornet, so again, kind of the same thing as the NMPD Cyclops, but I really want this because I like the color scheme of this in particular. I think for the Hornets, it's always good to come out in gray. I think they look good in that color scheme, but the white inclusion just, I don't know, really made it stand out, and I love the blue and red on the top there for the sirens. That's really cool, and I think it's got a couple of good figures as well. Moving right along, we also have the UNSC Flame Warthog. So I could have gotten this from, I think it was Canadian Tire was selling it for a while, and I should have snagged it, but I never did, and it was stuck there for a while, and finally I decided, you know what, next time I see that, I'm gonna get it, and then it was sold out, so that was unfortunate, but it's a nice different take on the Warthog. I think one of the main reasons why I didn't pick it up is because it is just another ordinary Warthog. I mean, yeah, it's got the flames, which is a nice touch, but aside from that, it's just a regular Warthog. I do like the red seats. I'm not a fan of the Gungnir helmets in this design. They're just a blob, but I do like the fact that both color schemes for the Gungnir counter each other. You know, got one in red with a yellow stripe and one in yellow with a red stripe. I thought that was a nice touch. But yeah, just something I didn't really pick up. Another set that I didn't grab was the UNSC Attack Mantis. I think it was just because it was the price and the fact that it couldn't move. Well, it couldn't move the legs. The entire top section had this firing gimmick, had lights and sounds, which was pretty cool. You know, they were really bringing out the lights and sounds. But I think maybe the legs were a little too chunky. It looked a little weird with its proportions, especially compared to the Mantis that came before it. The Master Chief is fine. I'm not sure how I feel about the color scheme. It just wasn't something that I was particularly into. I do like the controller and how that looks like an Xbox controller. I thought that was kind of nice. But aside from that, it wasn't really something that I wanted to jump into. I kind of want it because it might be fun to do a video on nowadays, but yeah, back then, just not something that I was really into. I'm not really into RC stuff anyway, so yeah. Next up, we have the Covenant Scarab, and I'm not going to talk too much about this because it makes me sad that I didn't get it. Despite the fact that, yeah, it was in stores out here. I could have snagged it, but I guess it was too pricey, or just the chance to get it wasn't really there, so yeah, I kind of missed out. But yeah, the Covenant Scarab is definitely one that I'm searching for because it's a nice looking big Covenant set, and you know how much I like big Covenant sets. Anyways, moving right along, we also have the I almost said Covenant Containment Armory. There we go. And this is a nice small set, but I don't think it was available in my Target. We had Target for a short while. I don't think it showed up there. Nice little weapons rack with a bunch of tools. I thought that was kind of nice, especially given the fact that it's got a zombie theme to it. You know, you got a normal axe, you got a pickaxe, you got a shovel, you know, stuff to take out a zombie. I thought that was kind of funny. Also, the Commando Spartan in orange, I think that looks really good. So, yeah, another thing that I regret not picking up, but I didn't really have a chance to pick up. We also have the Last Man Standing Pack 2, which is more continued to what the original zombie packs were, but with the orange Spartans, because the original Last Man Standing stuff, I think, had blue Spartans going with the zombie packs. I could be wrong, it might have just been one pack, but because the later Last Man Standing sets had orange Spartans going up against the zombie figures, they decided to make a zombie pack 2 with the new articulation and an orange Spartan. I don't know why I took too long to say that. I don't know why I messed up so many times. But anyways, it's a second zombie pack, and it looks nice. You know, you got the Scout Spartan, you got the, what is that, the JFO? No, Operator Spartan, and an EVA in that very nice glow-in-the-dark color scheme, as well as, I think that is a JFO. Okay, that's the JFO in orange. That looks very nice. Anyways, moving right along, we also have the Containment Outpost Patrol. This is something that I really wanted, because I like big bases, and it's not the biggest base, but it's a decent-sized one. You also have that turret on top, which is nice, and then that Cyclops looks really awesome. I love the dark gray color scheme with the orange. I think that's a pleasant color scheme, and yeah, I think it all comes together pretty well. Moving on, we also have the Anniversary Collection, Shadow Convoy. I couldn't really say that name. Sorry, I'm messing up on my words right now. But yeah, this was a nice pack of Covenant stuff, as well as a couple of UNSC Marines that continued off from some of the other sets that we already got, as well as Bravo series. And I thought this was an interesting set. I believe that you can swap out and put the Covenant Ghost inside it, which I thought was pretty clever. And yeah, it's just a nice looking set, you know, to kind of drive your troops in. I love the Honor Guard elites. That's very nice, as well as the you know, the Arbiter in that's pretty cool. I believe that's an Arbiter. Yeah, that's an Arbiter in a darker color scheme. And yeah, just something that I didn't pick up. I don't know why. I should have, but I just didn't. We also have the Customizer NMPD pack. Now, I believe this is going into the 2015 sets, and this is just a nice pack of NMPD stuff. I don't know why I didn't get it. Maybe it's because I wasn't as interested in the NMPD stuff as much as I was with the Spartans and the Covenant and whatnot. But yeah, you got those riot shields, which I really do like, as well as a whole bunch of weapons, and a couple of good NMPD figures. I think they look very nice. We also have some promotional stuff that I should have brought up, so maybe I should do that right now. Let's see what we have. We've got... We've got the two Warrior Spartans, so we've got one in gray with a green visor, which is reflective of one of the earlier special edition Spartans that I would love to get. As well, we also have, if my mouse would actually, you know, work with me, we also have a black version with a red visor, and I thought this was much cooler. And I don't know, it's like a shadowy, almost covert version of the Warrior Spartan. Just a really nice version of it. I think that looks pretty good. As well, we also have an SDCC, I think this was SDCC, a limited edition version of the Arbiter, Locke, and Master Chief. And this is a cool pack, but it wasn't something that I felt like I needed to get, despite the fact that I really like that energy sword. You could get these figures in other sets, so I didn't feel like I needed to jump into this, especially at the price. It was running at about, what, 60 to 100, and it's going to be much more nowadays. And I wasn't exactly too sure if I even wanted to open it out of the package, so I just decided, I don't really need it, so I didn't get it. Anyways, moving right along, we also have, if I reopen that tab, because I accidentally closed it, so you can tell that I'm not editing this audio, we have the Heavy Assault Cyclops. Now, let me tell you this, the stock image does not do it justice. It looks really weird. But one thing that I like about it is the interchanged version of the shoulder armor, because the shoulders aren't placed, or the armor I should say, is not placed where the other Cyclops have it. It's above the shoulders, and I thought that was a nice, clever touch to that. It's also got a nice looking Marine. It's a basic one, but I think it looks fine. The gunners look pretty cool. I like the rockets. But yeah, just something that I didn't really get. In fact, I don't even remember if it was available out here. We also have Fireteam Eagle, and I really wish I got this pack. I like the color of the figures. It's not my favorite color for Spartans, but I think it looks fine, especially with its uniformity. And I like the kind of metallic bluish color scheme for the Forerunner weapons. And I like how they all have Forerunner weapons. I thought that was a nice touch. But the main thing that I really wanted was that bridge section. I thought that was the coolest thing, using the transparent blue. It just looked very nice. But yeah, I didn't get it. It was available in my stores, but I just passed up. We also have Sierra Squad, which is another set that I unfortunately didn't get. But I really wanted it because I like that turret, and I think all the Marines look very cool. I think I have one of the Marines, but I just got it from a bulk bin. I didn't really get it because, oh, it's part of the Sierra Squad that I'm trying to build up. It's a nice looking pack. I would like to get it one day, but unfortunately I don't have it. Moving right along, we also have the UNSC Fireteam Rhino. I think the main reason why I didn't get this is because One, you're missing out on one of the Spartans. It is pretty much a repainted pack of the pack that we've already talked about, but it's just a muted color scheme, so I wasn't really too sure how I felt about it. It does come with the same bridge section, so that would have been nice, and looking back at it, I think the tan color actually works out a little bit better than the yellow. I don't know, it works, but it's something that I didn't pick up. I guess I just didn't, you know? Simple as that. We also have the UNSC Victor squad, and it is the same thing as the squad that we talked about previously, the Sierra squad. It's just the same thing, but I think the color scheme of this actually fits better. You get a yellow crate instead of a gray one, which is a nice touch, and everyone seems to have some sort of Arctic color scheme to it. You got more white, you got more light grays to it, especially with the base plates, you know, that's in white, so I think this would have been a nice pack to get. In fact, I don't even know why I missed out on this one. It just would have been nice. Anyways, moving on, we also have the metallic drop pods. I missed out on a few of these, mostly the later ones. I actually have the first 2 waves of the drop pods, but I missed out on the Arctic one, which looks good, especially against the black. I missed out on the Jungle ODST, which would have been really cool to get because it reminds me of the first wave of ODST drop pods to ever come out, when they were a little more complex than these drop pods, which were just 2 pieces that were pretty much the entirety of the package. But it would have been nice to get. And then there's also the Stealth ODST, which I think is probably the coolest one of this wave. I did manage to get the Covenant Elite from this wave, the Cobalt one, so I got that. Anyways, moving on, we also have the Covenant Armor Customizer Pack. Again, no clue why I didn't get this. It was available in my stores and I really wanted it, but I just missed out completely on it. No idea why. It's got a nice purple Covenant Elite, a nice silver Elite Ranger, and then you could swap it out between different elites. This was at the time when they were introducing the new articulation for the elites, and I think this would have been a nice thing to get. But again, I don't know why I didn't get it. We also have the Damage Control Cyclops. This one is in red and gray, and man, I wanted this mostly for the accessories. Those in red looks very cool, but I will admit the Damage Control Cyclops does look very nice. You know, it's gray and red, but it didn't really speak out to me as much as some of the previous color schemes. It's good, but it doesn't stand out as much as the black and yellow or the orange and gray one. I don't know, it still looks cool to me. We also have the Flood-Infected Cyclops, and I think this is, again, another one that just didn't show up in my area, because I think I would have gotten this one. I mean, you got the little bit of Flood, you know, carrying off just, you know, the Flood infection form off to the side. You've got that little Flood figure, and then, of course, the Cyclops that has been completely infected with Flood parts. That's a really clever touch, and, yeah, I probably would have gotten a couple of these at the time. We also have the Scorpion Sting. So this is a Scorpion set, and I don't know why I only have one Scorpion, because the original Scorpion was my first Halo Mega Bloks set ever, and you'd think, okay, I'm gonna try and get more Scorpions, and so far that's the only one I ever got, so that's kind of weird. I'm hoping that this year we get a new Scorpion, if the rumors are true. I heard that apparently we're getting a new Scorpion, but I would have loved to get this, because I love the Halo 4 and Halo 5 design for the Scorpion, and I like that little turret on the front. I think that's a nice, clever touch. I also love the fact that continuing with the Scorpion sets, or at least most of the Scorpions, they come with the one red Spartan. I don't know why, it just seems like a traditional thing to come with the red Spartan, but yeah, this one as well. Also comes with Buck, and it does come with the basic elite, but I had no problem with it coming with the basic elite, because it means more elites, so, you know, no issue with that. But yeah, wish I got it. We also have the Versus True pack. Again, another pack that I could have got. Don't know why I didn't. I think it was just the availability of it. I think it was just bad timing. But yeah, this is a Versus pack. I love the Versus line. I wish they could bring that back as like a full line, not just one helmet set like they did with the Capture the Flag. Because it was a cool, interesting thing. And I love the fact that this set in particular comes with a blue flag and a red flag, as well as an active camo Spartan, which does remind me of, I think it was the Assault on High Ground, that came with the exact same color scheme for the same amount of figures. You had one active camo, 2 red, and 2 blue. So yeah, would have been nice to get, but unfortunately I didn't pick it up. We also have the ODST True Pack, which was really nice. I think this came with... Did it come with Buck, or did it come with someone else? It came with someone, I believe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was Dutch. Okay, it was Dutch, yeah. I had to look up the name again. Sorry about that. But, yeah, this would have been a nice pack to get. I think it was a little too expensive for my taste at the time, being a Toys R Us exclusive. But the amount of ODSTs you get, well, it's just 2, but that's nice still. Especially the fact that you get 2 different variants of ODSTs. I think that's nice. And then the Covenant drones were a big deal because they were being introduced around that time. So it would have been nice to get a couple more in green. And I think the overall set looks nice. I like that abandoned, sort of destroyed section of some sort of city or building. I think that looks really nice, especially how they got the fence posts down. Yeah, it just would have been a nice set to get. Moving right along, we also have the Smuggler Intercept, and I believe this is based on Halo Nightfall, so you got that lock figure as well as another additional ODST figure. And yeah, this was available in my Toys R Us, but I didn't pick it up. I don't think I was really as interested in this as I was with some of the other sets, but it was a cool thing because it was something that was different compared to some of the other sets. I like the bronze champagne color scheme to it. I think it does look weird without the crate inside it, but once you do put that in, it looks fantastic. I also like that little outpost set to the side, and the amount of stuff you get out of it. I think it was very nice. It's just something that, at the time, I wasn't really that interested, but nowadays I am, and of course it's not available in stores. And last but not least is the NMPD Pelican Air Base. Now this is the biggest regret for me. And the main reason why it's the biggest regret is because for a short time, this was $100 on Walmart.ca. For an idea, it was originally about $200 to, let's say $230 in stores. So for $100, that's a steal for a signature series set. Unfortunately, I missed out on it, and I definitely do regret it because it doesn't seem like something that a lot of people have. It's a nice, big air base. I mean, look at that. It just looks fantastic. I love the setup on the side there. The figures look pretty good, and the Pelican itself looks fantastic. Yeah, it took me a long time to get a Pelican. In fact, with the Halo Infinite line, those were my first Pelicans, because you had the mini builds and then you had the large one. But yeah, this is very nice, and of course it's got that NMPD color scheme, which I'm just starting to realize I really like that color scheme, and I should have got more of those sets. But yeah, it's a pretty cool little setup. I like it. So, yeah, that is pretty much it. Those are the sets that I regret missing out, apparently. So, yeah, I wasn't really that into the Halo line as much as I was into Transformers at the time, so that's probably why I missed out on a lot of the sets. Yeah, with that out of the way, I guess that's pretty much it. I thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads.